When searching for library materials whose titles and descriptions have been Romanized, there are a few quirks unique to Southeast Asian languages that could trip up a researcher. We'll go over these quirks now, as well as some solutions to accommodate them in your search strategies. We will use the Library of Congress Romanization tables as a guide. For more information on these tables and the purpose of Romanization, please view our introductory video. It is important to know that occasionally these Romanization systems have changed over time. I'll highlight one change now in the Khmer script that researchers should be aware of. Notice this letter Q in front of this word. Originally, the Khmer transliteration system placed a Q in front of words that did not have an initial consonant. Over time, this convention changed, and now instead of a Q, you will find an apostrophe in front of words that begin without a consonant. When searching for such words, make sure to search using both conventions to avoid missing relevant records. You can also see this in the second example that the actual Khmer script is included in the record. Southeast Asian scripts are currently being introduced into newer records, making it easier to search for items without worrying about transliteration. But be aware that scripts have not been added to all of the records. Unfortunately, there is simply not enough time and resources to go back and add scripts to previously created records. Recognize that your search in a native script may leave out some relevant results that are only cataloged using Romanized text. Here's another tip to make your searching simpler. The catalog search engine does not recognize diacritics, the apostrophes and other small marks before and above letters. You can ignore these marks when creating your search terms without fear of missing results. Another issue to be aware of is word splitting. Take a look at this Thai term here. It is actually several words, but there are no spaces because in Thai, spaces are generally not used between words. So where we have one long Thai term, in the Romanized title, we have three terms. When phrases such as this one are transliterated, the word splitting of the Romanized text does not always make sense to researchers who read and speak Thai. Here is an example of an imperfect word splitting. Look at this term. In this record, the word is split into two, but in this second example, the same Romanized term is combined into one word. This is something you need to pay attention to when searching. Search for different permutations of combined or split phrases to catch any imperfectly split words. This difference in space placement can also create problems when searching the catalog using the Thai script. Let's go back to this example. If I isolate the word in the Thai script and copy and paste this word into the search bar, there is only one record in the results, and it's not the record that I just came from. Something has gone wrong. While this word in Thai should be its own term, the computer system does not recognize it in this record as independent from the combined phrase in Thai because the information was entered into the record without noting that these are separate words. The computer thinks it's all one word. To find this record, you would need to search for this entire phrase. Even when native script is included in a record, it does not solve all of your problems, and it is important to still search for Romanized terms in order to conduct a more effective search. Names can be very tricky to search for in Romanized text. Different languages have different ways of writing the same name in their own script, which results in different Romanized spellings of the same name. Librarians have done a lot of hard work to try to connect these versions together, but it's not perfect. Let's use the example of Lao Revolutionary Supa Nuvong. If you search for the common English spelling of his name, you will get mostly books in English and French. But if you're looking for books in Southeast Asian languages, you will need to use the transliteration system. That's where it gets tricky. If the book is in Lao, you have this spelling here using the Lao Romanization system. Here is a Thai book, and you see that the spelling is a little bit different. The Thai system uses a W instead of a V. The Vietnamese spelling started with an X and uses the V, so you end up with yet another way of spelling this name in the library system. If you're able to read multiple Southeast Asian languages, you would need to search for these different spellings to find all relevant resources. Fortunately, librarians have tried to unite these disparate records using subject terms. If you go into a particular record and click on the linked subject term for Supa Nuvong, you will get a list of all the records and their different spellings that have all been assigned this subject. Remember these strategies when searching for Romanized items in Southeast Asian languages. Search for holdovers from previous systems, like the Q before Khmer words that begin without a consonant. Leave diacritics out of your search terms, account for inconsistent word splitting, and search for names using multiple systems. For more tips and tricks, check out our video about general search strategies for Romanized texts.